They call me One Take Tings, and here in this hotel room, in this star power mic that I need to find out how to change the lights on, I'm going to have to tell you something. I'm about to hit the road for another 8-hour drive. I will be back on my computer shortly. We're going to get deeper into these, but I could not leave and get on the road without showing you the fact that the media is done. The media defended Dillon Gabriel. They put up the shield guards. They told you he was a supercomputer. And look, I'm a Dillon. Hey, I like Dillon Gabriel. Think he's a nice guy. He's going to sell a lot of Pacificas when he's done with his 10-year backup. Well, maybe backup, because Kevin Stefanski's having him look like a troglodyte out there. I don't know. But clearly, the Browns people are seeing. They're begging for Shedeur. And I got to be honest with you. Somebody play that job, because I ain't editing this. That job me. Y'all stay over there, dog. Stay over there. Let's get 12 up out of there. Let's get Kevin Stefanski up out of there if 12 ever does play for the Browns uniform, because this is how the media is feeling right now. Let's hear it, Big Riz.
Dillon Gabriel looked like Dillon Gabriel. His luck finally ran out with the picks. He also gave up a safety. Chris, I've seen enough. I said I've seen enough last week. But if Shedeur can't stay healthy, you're going to get him on the field. Chris, did he work out on the field before the game?
Yeah, tried to get loose and get ready.
How do you get hurt? They won't even let the kid play.
Riz, I can't explain it.
Phantom back injury, huh? Okay.
Now, these are one of the things that obviously we're going to go deeper into in the quote-unquote phantom back injuries. If you've been watching football longer than 2 years, you know that teams often put players on injuries, on questionable when trades are being propped up. I've heard I've heard rumors about Jets. I've heard rumors about Bengals. None of those are confirmed, but they are swirling out there. When I get back to the home desk, we're going to get deeper into that because, again, Shedeur seemingly didn't have a lot of injury problems until coming with the Browns. And I wanted to tell y'all something. In the preseason, remember I told you, hey, it's interesting that both Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel have the same injuries in the same room. I said that is an indication, right, of the way that they were training, right? And that is a coach and a GM thing. The Browns are dog water from top to bottom, so much in fact that they can't even keep their star running back Quinshon Judkins healthy. What about your aging cornerback that you just traded in Tyson Campbell? Well, he's hurt, and y'all got y'all's defense ran up. You had Myles Garrett put up a historic. He sacked Drake May 5 times, and they still gave up 32 points. 32. Now, it doesn't help that Dillon Gabriel is throwing to any person wearing a Patriots uniform, as well as giving them a free 2 points, pissing down his leg, right? But it really goes to show that there's a lot of malpractice. You picked him third. I'm going to keep saying it. Forget the Shedeur stuff. Put that over there. We're going to go deeper on that. Don't worry. Just as the Browns, as an organization being functional, y'all wasted a high-value top 100 pick, yet your offensive line is old and they can't stay healthy. Your cornerbacks, you traded your young one for an old one that now can't stay healthy. Looked good when he was healthy, but what's happening? Denzel Ward is praying to God. Myles Garrett is playing like the contract he's worth. Everybody's mad at him that he's upset. Oh, well, you chose to stay there. You chose to stay there. Hey, he's playing. It'd be different if he wasn't producing. 5 sacks? It just make the game competitive. This is embarrassing. And I think the Browns media, it can clearly see that.
The thing about Dillon and Shedeur that I wanted to point out before I forgot is Dillon Gabriel started getting first-team reps immediately after he was drafted. The team, Kevin Stefanski, the coaching staff, they said, this guy's ready for that. He's advanced. He understands the terminology. He understands how the offense operates. He's done this. He gets first-team reps. He's ready to go. We're confident enough in him to trade Kenny Pickett and make him the backup quarterback. We're confident enough to make him the starter, and then we'll trade Joe Flacco and just get him out of here anyway, because we're confident in what Dillon Gabriel can do. He had all summer, all training camp, all preseason as that, the rookie that was taking first-team reps. And after 4 games, it's clearly obvious he is not anything close to what they told us. And all they've told us is that Shedeur is not any of that stuff. This is supposed to be Kevin's guy, and he can't even run the freaking offense for Kevin. But now it's been 4 games. In 4 games, you should have seen at least a throw, a play where he said, ooh. Now there you go. That's a play that a franchise quarterback or a good starter can make. Hasn't been a single one yet. 4 games. I don't care what anybody says. That's enough.
And I want to stress this because, there's a lot of people saying, hey, you gotta be patient with a young quarterback. And you do. You do have to be patient with a young quarterback, and that's why Joe Flacco was brought in. That's why Joe Flacco was supposed to be the bridge for these young quarterbacks, give you veteran leadership guidance, see how it's supposed to work. But when you put on a terrible offense, and it's clearly shown because Joe Flacco goes up the street and looks like he's 22 again, right? So when you put up a completely putrid offense, I don't know how you're expecting more production to come out of somebody who was again, 4th and 5th round graded guy. I sit here and say, hey, you reach for your guy as a quarterback. You reach for your guy. You reach for a maybe backup. And we've broke it down. The Oregon connections go deep. Billy Musgrave played at Oregon, right? I think Tommy Rees has some connections there. But more importantly, it's Will Stein at Oregon's wide zone offense. Kevin Stefanski is known for wide zone wide zone schemes. He's known for having a lot of tight ends and moving that. Hey, that's what's going on in Oregon. It was supposed to be a very translatable guy. So not only do you have the advantage, like we've been talking about, and some of y'all said, hey, you're just making excuses for Shedeur. No. I just watch football. I know how systems match. And that's why I'm upset, because at this point, you got the leg up when it comes to a terminology, because Shedeur was running that Pat Shurmur clown show. Y'all saw what they had Caden Salter run? We ain't got to go into that, right? He's had 6 different offensive coordinators. When Mary Kay tried to lie, remember? When Mary Kay tried to lie and said Dillon Gabriel's had more coaches. Y'all made all these narratives. So to now be backtracking, to now be like, oh my God, Dillon Gabriel is not the guy. What do you mean he's not the guy? I thought y'all said he was a supercomputer. I thought y'all said he was the starting quarterback. Y'all said he was Kevin Stefanski. That goes from Kevin Stefanski. That goes from these clowns at 92.3. Yeah, I'm sorry about it. Shout out to Cleveland Radio. I like those guys. I like these guys, the dogs. But y'all know, what's his name? Ken Carmen, or the other dude, Sports Boy Tony. Yeah, he was hooting and hollering, getting all the engagement clicks from the Shadore cult. Well, how does it feel to be 2-6? Yeah, it's great now, right? You proved your point. You proved that the Cleveland Browns, who have historically never made the right decision at quarterback, y'all looked us in the eye. You looked me in the eye and said, yeah, let's trust what they're doing at the quarterback position. When has that ever happened? Deshaun Watson, now, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But one of the most electric players, shout out to my Texans, back when he was playing, when he was in his prime. That's why he got that big contract. That's why they pay him the big bucks. Y'all gave him an unprecedented contract. He plays like ass. Joe Flacco, the consummate professional. He actually came in the Browns one time and made y'all look decent. He comes in, looks like ass. Y'all ship him off. He looks good. Dillon Gabriel was a 4th and 5th round guy trying to elevate an ass offense. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry that the media has to come back and be like, well, he's so bad. I can't believe he would throw a pick. We told y'all. He's 5'9". He doesn't grade well. It's like this insanity, and maybe that's what it is being a Cleveland Browns fan, that you have to somehow will yourself to believe that a Oregon quarterback with 4th and 5th round grade, everybody likes to talk about, well, the NFL showed you what they thought about Shedeur, right? They drafted him in the 5th round. But again, I don't think y'all don't watch football. No, the NFL showed what they thought of Shedeur when the scouts from multiple standpoints, from multiple places, watching multiple points of film, graded him at the lowest second round. Second round grade for Shedeur was disrespectful in January. It genuinely was. Y'all like to leave out the fact that he was treated like a first round pick at every single step until the draft came. Oh, y'all forgot that he had private meetings with the Giants? Y'all forgot Brian Daboll was dapping about the East-West Shrine Ball? Did y'all forget that he was told by teams to not participate in the East-West Shrine Bowl? Hey, you don't have to throw at the combine. And then retroactively, it's a problem. Dog, we're going to get deeper into it. But I really feel bad for Dillon Gabriel at this point. He's painfully mid. Nobody should have put him out there and put him through these situations. He should have been drafted in the 4th or 5th round, and nobody would have had to say anything. But now these clowns have plenty to say. Let's hear it.
4. You got 4 blowouts in an NFL season. 4. It's not even Halloween. We have 4 blowouts in an NFL season. There are 4 of them. There are 4 of them. There are 4 blowouts. You've been blown out 4 times already in an NFL season. That's insanity!
And meanwhile, the Jets.
I'm sorry.
The Jets and Dolphins
Sorry for
win.
yelling.
The Jets put up how many points? 39. The Jets put up 39 points. On what planet could the Browns ever put up 39 points?
I'm not even mad at the locker room. I think there's still
Miami put up
some
34.
culture. Yes, you saw that too. I think there's still. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think there is some guys that definitely care inside the locker room. It can't happen. Either the offense is inept or you've put yourself in a bad situation. Either way, you got to be just moving on from all of it. There ain't nothing I'm going to be able to do this this season. I don't know what's going to happen this offseason other than, you know what? I might as well have a chance to have a little bit of fun. If 12's back isn't locked up and he doesn't need a backiotomy, just put him out there for the love of Christ. Just put him out there and let's see. Give me a good effort for a week and let's see what he can do. The Jets won a game, so they're ready to mail it in for the rest of the year.
They got
so
theirs.
go right on ahead and put him out there. There's no better time. I don't care. I can't see what that was yesterday any longer.
So I actually do like Ken Carmen. Ken Carmen, he's the normal voice. I thought Tony was gonna say that he's the problem, but this guy, that guy, he's being honest. They're pretty bad, but nah, man, I don't want nobody backtracking, dog. Now we gonna pick on Terry Bradshaw just for a second because he had one of the funniest things ever. Remember, Terry Bradshaw had a lot to say about Shedeur, On the Rex Ryan angle of, he's talking too much. He's a 3rd round pick, yada, yada, yada. Right? It's too much hype. I mean, talk about hype. The Tony Grossi method. Well, if they're gonna say things about Shadore, how about we put unnecessary, unneeded expectations on a 3rd round, should have been 5th round pick. That's what the scout said. If y'all that's what every NFL scout who looked at his measurables, the combine, hey. Maybe can be a backup. Hey, would be great to have a rotational piece at corner. Would be great to have a young lineman. Nah, Kevin Stefanski's guy, that Terry Bradshaw, who I'm sure it hasn't been affected by CTE, right? He played when drinking and driving was legal. I'm telling you, I'm sure mentally, he's elite. He thinks that Dillon Gabriel is going to be a star. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So let's take a look at some stats, right? Now, PFF, I don't know what y'all got going on, but their stats are so late, but it's going to be not updated, but these are slightly updated stats. So Dillon Gabriel's passing grades per week pending week 8 review. So again, week 8 is not here, but and week 8 has to be verified or whatnot. But week 5, 63.5, week 6, 52.5, week 7, 48.6, week 8, 38.4. You're giving him more time to cook. We've given him extra reps. We've given him an offense that he should be able to know like the back of his hand. He's been running it since the extra year that he had in college. But Jesus, Lord have mercy, he's getting worse. So I want to say Kevin Stefanski is just terrible. He is terrible. Clearly cannot call offense anymore. You had Vrabel calling his best drive of the year a bunch of fucking trick plays. Oh, when they got the tricky out the way, yeah, we started playing football, right? And we knew we had a 5'9" quarterback and a Bailey Zappi backing up. They didn't have a chance. They didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. They didn't have a Hawaiian's chance in Ohio, Anyway, he's the lowest graded passer in the NFL. Minimum 100 attempts. Worst in uncatchable throw rate. Lowest in, I forgot what BTT was. Somebody told me in the comments, but let me know in the comments. They're going to tell you. 3rd worst in turnover-worthy plays. Lowest in positive grade rate. And 2nd worst in rhythm throws. I don't know what that is. So very, very bad. Very, very bad. So I want to know, somebody as enlightening, right? someone as enlightening as Terry Bradshaw, what he has to say about these stats. What does he have to say about Dillon Gabriel, right? And again, this hasn't been updated, but having a 54.5 grade before this awful Abysmal performance, again, before this bad performance, 33rd in pass snap. So he's had to drop back some of the least in the league, almost the least in what's it called? Passing touchdowns as well and passing yards. But average time to throw, right? 258. That's not great. Pressure to sack rate, 21%, 27. That's not phenomenal. Oh, BTT, big time throws, 35th. In the last time he tied a big time throw, amazing interception. Turnover worthy plays, 6th, 13th. That's not great. That's up here. And after 2 turnovers and a safety, I'm sure those stats aren't going to look great. But again, this is, I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. Again, you lose by 400. You lost Quinchon to the shoulder. Tyson Campbell to a concussion. Schweringer to a friendly fire ankle roll-up. Someone needs their ass kicked for all this. Not that injuries are anyone's fault, but just fire someone for the hell of it. And that goes back to my point of, hey, man, if we didn't draft 2 quarterbacks in this draft, maybe we have an extra cornerback. Maybe since we already had 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Like, I want this before I show y'all Terry Bradshaw, the man who thinks that Dillon Gabriel's a star. It befuddles me. It befuddles me because you didn't need to draft Shedeur, and you didn't even need to draft Dillon Gabriel. It could have been the Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco show if you had a half decent offense. But here we are. This is the biggest supporter of Dillon Gabriel. He's going to be a star, right? What you got to say, big dog? Oh, the media can't. Hey, they took this offline. Hold up. All right, I had to hunt it down on YouTube. What do you have to say, Terry? Let's hear it.
Thing about Washington, this is scary. Everybody said, well, Daniels is out, but Marcus Mariota, the pretty doggone good football player, even though he's a backup to Daniel, former #1 pick. They get McLaurin back today. They get Debo Samuels back. He's back today. They got their receivers. Their defense is picking it up. They're playing better. But the thing that I would worry about more so in Washington is the other day I text Andy Reid, and I got a text back. And I thought it was Andy Reid, but it was some guy selling pigs. But it sounded good. I should have told y'all that, so y'all would have thought I actually talked to Andy Reid, but I didn't really talk to Andy Reid.
I wish you could see the people behind the cameras because they're like.
The point is that they have continuity now with their.
I'm going to say that is the point.
Yes, there is the point.
Behind the cameras, what about the people at the desk?
Hey, cut his mic.
We're all like, where the heck is he going right now? I have no idea what's going on.
Just read the prompter.
Yes, sir. The prompter says Gronk's not with.
Everybody knows where Terry Bradshaw is going, and that's, you know what I'm saying. That's a big guy for what the main man, our guy, Dillon Gabriel's got cooking. So I'm gonna try to end this recording. If it lets me. I think we're having a bit of an issue here. So, if you're watching this far, just know this video is not supposed to be this long. But however, okay, here we go. Let's stop the recording. Lord have mercy.